So I had so much fun creating the Mercury Glass for that bar cart that I had these old windows I bought last fall, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with them. I thought, oh, maybe just like clean them up, decoupage them, do something to make them kind of like more like a piece of art. Anyways, I thought it would be really cool to do a decoupage on them, but also with the mirrored effect so that the image is kind of coming through and you've got the mirror around it. So I am going to try my hand at that and see how it goes. So first thing I'm going to do is clean up this frame. So I want to get any loose paint that is on here. These windows are extremely old. My guess is they're from an old barn. I should have known better. Anytime you're dealing with old paint, pre-1970s, you should always test it for lead. I did not do this until after I was halfway through sanding and particles were flying around my house. I moved this to the outside of my garage, and I did the proper remedial on the inside to clean up any debris that could be affecting the household. I'm wearing all the proper equipment that you should use while working with lead paint. A respirator mask, eyeglasses, gloves, and I'm now scraping away in a well-ventilated area. My garage door is open, and I'm using completely the outdoor air as my ventilation. I'm then vacuuming up any debris and disposing of that into the garbage. I decided rather than sanding, I would use paint stripper for the rest of the paint removal. For the paint and glazing that was remaining on the actual window, I used a utility scraper to remove this from the glass. I then went back to sanding the frame and getting it completely smooth and ready for paint. Okay, so to clean this glass, I am going to use 1.5 ounces of cud-credder, which is actually a concentrate that we use on our furniture, to 1 gallon of water. That's what is suggested on the back of the bottle, so that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've got the glass all clean. Reinstall a couple of the glazier points, which is what holds the glass in. Once I'm done painting and everything, I'm gonna go over the back of it with a clear caulking just to make sure this glass is good and secure. I'm taping off the back of the frame to protect it when I spray the glass with the mirrored effects to give it the mirror effect. Okay, so I am now in my spray tent. Kind of nicer doing this outside than in my basement. What I'm doing, I'm just giving this mirror one more wipe over. After I taped, this is a really old window, so the glass is like kind of wonky. This is the decoupage paper that I'm going to use. I'm gonna keep the hardware that's on here. It's really grungy and painted and rusty, and I might add a little bit more patina to it. And like I said, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with the frame, but I think once I get this on, I will have a better idea of what I'd like to create. My son just got home from work, and I asked him his opinion because I was trying to figure out placement. So keep in mind, this is going to be decoupaged on the back side, and this will be all mirrored. But it was his idea to kind of put the truck on a bit of an angle. I saw some dry erase markers, because what I want to do is mark up the front glass. This will wipe off with window cleaner. And then that way, when I'm spraying the mirrored effect, I kind of know the areas I need to keep without putting the paint on it. I'm using a 50-50 vinegar and water mix in a spray bottle, and I'm spritzing the glass with the vinegar before I add the spray paint. Make sure you give this a really good shake. I had shaken it previous to spritzing with the water and vinegar. I'm giving it another really good shake, and then I'm slowly adding the paint to the glass in controlled motion. Okay, so I've put on the first coat. I spritzed it with a 1 part vinegar, 2 parts water mixture. I'm gonna let it dry. Then I'm going to dab away the water. And then I will go in with the second coat. So it takes a couple minutes, 3 to 5 minutes for it to dry. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with coat number 2, but I'm not gonna spritz it. I'm gonna spray it first, then I'm gonna spritz it. I'm gonna back and forth this maybe up to 4 times so I get a really good mirrored effect. I did this process 4 times in total to get the desired effect that I really, really liked. It is definitely a choice and how you like the end result to look. So I've got the mirrored effect to my desired look. There I am. You can see it's nice and aged looking. The truck is gonna fit in there. So I have not applied the decoupage yet. I've just got it lying under there, but this is kind of what I'm trying to get. So I've still got the marker on here so that I've got it for placement of the decoupage when I put it on. What I'm gonna do now is I want to iron my decoupage to get out the wrinkles. It was shipped folded. So that's what I'm gonna do next. You always wanna use a piece of parchment paper, not wax, parchment paper when you're ironing. It just protects the paper. I then use my mouse sander to just kind of rough up the edges and thin them out so that they're not so obvious once this is decoupage to the back of the glass. It's now time to Mod Podge this on. I've got this in place. I'm hoping I don't move it around, but anyways, I'm just gonna start spreading the glue on and you can actually see the glue, but it dries clear. Now that the back decoupage is all dry, I'm spraying it with black flat paint by Rust-Oleum. In my little studio in the basement, and I am working on this mirror. I'm so excited with how the actual mirror portion has turned out. My next step is I've decided I'm going to use a milk paint, black milk paint. I also am going to use a little bit of the Dixie Belle Patina in Rust. I don't know, love affair with Rust. I just love the way it looks. And the reason I decided that is because the truck itself is rusted and old. I'm working on adding the metallic paint and gris patina spray by Dixie Belle. Okay, so I let this sit overnight and I've got some really good rusty areas. This part didn't take, which I'm surprised by, but this is nice and rusted. You've got the natural wood. So the milk paint I'm using is by Fusion in the color Little Black Dress, which I used one other time on a bench that I did about a year ago. And the directions for this one, I've not used another one, so I don't know if it's the same, but it's 1 part paint to 1 part water. And you want to mix it until all the powder is completely dissolved and it's blended in to make a nice paint consistency. Okay, here we go. It takes about 30 minutes to dry, so I'll start kind of understanding the desired effect I'm going to get once it starts drying and hopefully chipping away. I am just kind of finishing up this mirror that I've been working on. What I have worked on is I put patina paint on it, and then I used black milk paint, and I've kind of now just been playing because I didn't love the way it looked at first. And if I were to do it over again, I would have probably built up a bigger resist for the milk paint to get that chippy look. I would have milk painted first, then done the rest effect on top. But anyways, I finally have it to a point where I am happy with it. So this is, this side has been milk painted, or sorry, has been hemp oiled to seal up what I've done. And you can see the milk paint is quite gray before you add the hemp oil. So two of the last things I'm going to be doing on this mirror is I'm going to add this brown paper to the back, because you've got you can see the decoupage paper here. I've sprayed it black so that it comes out in the reflection on the other side. But this will just finish it off nicely, and then I'm going to add some eyelets and a metal string for hanging. So that will be my last step. So I'm just using my hot glue gun to tack this down. You want to make sure the glue is nice and hot so that you have time to work with it. So the last and final step to this mirror is mounting the hanging hardware. So I ordered this off of Amazon. This little kit came with wire and these little, I don't know what these are called. Anyways, it says it holds up to 50 pounds and the mirror is maybe about 10. I didn't weigh it, but it's not that heavy. So I think I should be good. Anyways, so I have never actually done this before. I've got these in place and now I'm gonna just add the wire. Okay, so as I mentioned, I've never done this before, so I actually just watched a YouTube video on how to do this. And there we have our wire attached. These are nice and tight, there's no movement on those clips, so this wire should stay put.